Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, where today guys, I'm going to do part 18 to my random chatbot session. We're in the last video guys, we finally made it back to Croconaw's home, but guess what, after knocking on the door of his house, guess who showed up? A very angry for alligator, and she was not happy. I'm hoping that finally we can get her to trust me, because she finally seems to be trusting me a little bit more. If you look up here, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, right here, where I said, she was asking me like, or she just didn't trust me. If you want to know the full details, please go back to the last video. I'm going to continue where I was going so I can try getting through with this. It's basically after she asked, she says this after me telling her that, here's what it says. I told her a little bit of the story that kind of what happened with Croconaw, and here's what she said about that. First of all, I told her I felt bad for him because he was all alone, and when we talked for a bit and after he knew he could trust me, he was telling me that he was just wanted a friend that would love him for who he is. And then the mom just basically said, I see. And this is where she started to calm down a little bit after me saying that. You decided to try and become friends with him because he was alone? And he told you he just wanted a friend who would care about him. Is that right? And from there I told her, that's right, ma'am. He wanted a friend and I offered to be his friend. I felt bad for him. That's where the conversation ended off. We have to see what she says about this and see if we can get the conversation to finish up.
My mom listens calmly to your explanation again, and her expression softens even more as she speaks. Her voice still stern, but not as cold as before. I see. You felt bad for my son and decided to become his friend, and he trusted you, and I suppose you convinced him to come back home?
I offered to help him get back home. Period. I just didn't want him being alone because I knew I couldn't be there forever. Period. I'll finish it off right there and see what she says to that. Why do I? Wait.
My mom continues to stay silent and still for a moment, before speaking once again with an even softer expression than before. Her voice is a little less stern now, but still firm. So you decided to help him head back home, because you knew you couldn't be there forever to keep him company. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Exclamation point. I just didn't want him to be all alone with no one. So I offered him to help him get back home. Oh, it seems like she's starting to trust me. That gum, dude. She gave the most intense stare. She's like scary, dude. Holy frick. What'd she say that?
My mom nods slowly at your words, her expression softer and a little more warm, and her voice is a little softer as well as she speaks again. I think I start to understand a little bit. You felt bad for my son and didn't want him to be alone, so you offered to help him come back home. He trusted you and went with you, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Exclamation point. Well, that's pretty much it. I mean, like, literally, she hit the nail pretty hard in the head there. Let's see what she says.
My mom nods slowly again, her expression almost soft now, and her voice much less stern and cold than before as she speaks quietly. So essentially, you just felt bad for my son and wanted to make him feel less alone. You offered to help him come back home, and he trusted you. So you helped him come back home, and you brought him back to me. Is that right?
Yes. Exclamation point. Your whole evolution line are my favorite Pokemon. And when I saw him all alone, I want him to know that I was trustworthy. Hold on, I have to figure out a way to say it. And when I saw him all alone, really wanted him to be my friend. I hope that doesn't make her mad or anything, because she gave them her stern expression was not a good sign.
My mom nods very slowly at that comment, her expression and voice becoming even more softer and gentle as she speaks. I see. I understand now. You felt bad for my son and wanted to make friends with him. And it also happens that us sparrows are your favorite evolution family. Is that correct?
Yes. Exclamation point. I'm gonna type it in because there's no way in heck it's gonna pull up the names. Is she? Is she gonna blush at the fact that I just told her that her evolution family's gonna flip and wasn't my favorite Pokemon?
My mom lets out a warm, small chuckle at that comment, her expression and voice the softest they ever been as she speaks. I see. So you like us sparrows. Our whole evolution line is your favorite.
Yeah.
She looks and stares at you directly, still keeping her soft expression as she studies you.
I just didn't want you to think of me as a threat. Period. I would never hurt your son. And me and him have become really close. There we go.
My mom remains soft and keeps looking at you, her voice warm and gentle as she responds. No, I don't think you're a threat. And I can only imagine how close you must have become with my son, given that he trusted you enough to agree to come home with you.
There we go. Oh my gosh, it took a few minutes to get that to work, but we finally got the mother not thinking I'm a threat. Whoo! Thank goodness gracious. So she's not gonna flat out attack me. Told me that he had an older brother. Period. Is he still around? Does he still live around here? And does he have any other siblings? I'm curious because Croconaw only told me about older brother. He didn't really tell me about anything else, so I'm kind of curious if he has any other siblings. This is so interesting, dude. I love this.
My mom pauses for a moment, and her expression turns a little less warm at the mention of my older brother, but she still keeps her soft voice as she explains. Yes, our family does have an eldest son. That would be his big brother. And we also have another son. He is younger than my son, but older than our eldest son. And of course, my son does have a little sister.
Dang, he has more than I thought he did. How many did that? Is that 4? 3, 4 siblings right there? Dang. Listen. How do I flipping word this? I don't know how to say it, guys. I want to see if I can get Croconaw to explain it because I ain't gonna know the best way to explain it. Is very sorry for leaving without telling you. I don't know way too much about it. So I'll let him explain that. Period. But please don't be too harsh on him. Hopefully his mother ain't gonna be so mad. She seemed to get very jumpy with the fact that I knew about his brother, which is kind of concerning. It's like, what happened?
My mom's expression and voice become a bit softer and less stern as she speaks, and she listens to your words carefully as she responds. Yes, I know he is, and I do intend to talk to my son about it. But please don't blame yourself. My son is old enough to make his own decisions. Even if some of those decisions are bad ones.
Sweet Arceus, you had to explain it like that? Okay. I know this is a random question. This is a random question. Period. But do you know why your son has not fully evolved yet? I asked him about that earlier, and he didn't know the answer either. Oh no, I don't know. I should ask her that. I don't know. Oh.
My mom's expression suddenly changes to one of surprise at that random question about me, but her voice remains softer as she prepares to explain. Well, that's a question I wasn't expecting for you to ask, but to answer your question, I'm honestly not sure why he has not fully evolved yet. I think he's just a late bloomer.
A late bloomer. Wait, I still have to deal with that polygraph, dude. No, I don't know how to do that. The main reason I asked that was because he told me that he just randomly evolved from while walking through the woods one day. And I was just curious on why he didn't evolve again yet. It puts involve, not evolve. Thank you.
My mom nods slowly at your explanation, and her expression and voice soften even more as she continues to try and explain the situation. Yes, that is correct. My son evolved from Totodile at a very young age. But still, he hasn't evolved any further since then. I guess he really is a late bloomer because he's past the age where he's supposed to fully evolve.
That's kind of interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. I don't understand why he wouldn't have evolved by this point. It got evolved that time, surprisingly. And see, that's the thing. I remember this, guys. I still have to deal with that polyrath. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I'm going to ask her about it if I ever get the chance to. I mean, it ain't just seem like a random weird time. Because I want to know, like, really, if that polyrath is still here. Maybe he moved away or something randomly.
My mom shrugs a little as she continues to speak, her expression still remaining soft as she answers your statement. Neither do I, honestly. I don't know why he hasn't evolved yet, especially when he's far past the age where he should have evolved. I guess it must be because he is just a late bloomer, and there isn't anything wrong with that.
No, there really isn't. Period. It doesn't matter to me, though. I still really liked hanging out with your son. I'm gonna bring up the polyrath question in a second, see if he still was around. Maybe we got lucky and he randomly moved away. I don't know what to do if she says the polyrath still is around here. Because we're freaking screwed if she brings up anything about it.
My mom's expression and voice both stay soft as she responds to your comment, but she pauses and smiles a bit before continuing to speak, I see. So you still like to spend time with my son, even if he hasn't evolved into his final form yet?
How do I even answer that? Because, like, sometimes when I try to answer it the way I think I would answer it, they sometimes go back on the statement. I love all three of your evolution line. Period. Line. Line. So I did not mind about seeing Croconaw. He made me very happy. Exclamation point. That's what I heard. I word from Croconaw. That's kind of worrying. Where'd he go?
My mom's expression and voice melt even more at that comment about how much you like us ferals, and she responds warmly as she continues to speak, I see. You love all three of us, and you had a fun time hanging out with my son, even if he didn't reach his full potential yet. Is that right?
Yep, that is correct. Period. Whether he fully evolved or not, I still had a wonderful time with him. It goes so deep, dude. Although it's also super cool that it does that.
My mom's expression and voice become as soft as they can get at that statement from you, and she smiles warmly again as she says softly and warmly, I see. I'm happy to know you have enjoyed spending time with my son, no matter what stage he was at. What did you do together when you were hanging out together, if I may ask?
It took a while for him to trust me. Period. But mainly we talked. I also fed him some berries when he got hungry. I don't feed a crocodile batteries. I don't feed a poor crocodile batteries. Oh, it changed it. Okay, thank gosh. I was about to say. I wonder if she's gonna get mad at me for feeding him food. She got so angry at me just for. Oh, I guess it makes sense. And you flipping have a Pokemon randomly. I don't know, dude. Like, I don't even know what to say about that.
My mom nods slowly as she listens to your explanation, and her soft smile widens a bit as she responds, I see. You spent your time talking to my son, and you provided him with some food when he was hungry. You took care of him, didn't you?
I was happy to get him some food when he was hungry. Period. Seeing him smile as he was eating just warmed my heart. This is so cute, dude. Problem is, I ain't getting the right time to ask the question about the pirate this here, so it's like I'm still stuck in this conversation.
My mom's smile widens even more at the statement about how you just wanted to ensure that my son was safe and happy, and her voice remains soft and warm as she speaks her next words, I see. Seeing my son smile while he was eating made you happy, and you wanted to ensure that he was fed and well. You have a kind heart, it appears.
Did she have to say it appears, though? I would do anything to make your son smile. Period. He was just a bundle of fun. Shut up, guys. I'm having so much fun with this, dude. I am having oh my gosh, dude. I was going to do the Rexy one today, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get to Rexy. We're still having a conversation with his mother.
My mom's smile and voice both widen further at your statements about wanting to do anything to make my son happy, and how much fun you had with him. And she responds warmly again, I see. You would do anything just to ensure that my son remains happy.
Yes,
and you said that he's a
no,
of fun. You really love to spend time with my son, don't you?
If it's a total corn-off reactor, that's a complete. I had so much fun with him. Period. I'm just happy he trusted me and opened up to me. Oh, we go like that and see what she says to that. Dang.
My mom nods slowly in response to your words and smiles warmly as she speaks, I see. You spent a lot of fun time with my son, and you are so happy because he trusted you enough to open up to you about his thoughts and his feelings. Did he tell you a lot about what goes through his mind?
Dang, we've had such a long conversation. I actually kind of blanked. He talked about a lot, but He mainly talked about why he left home and just how he wanted a friend that would love him for the way he looked. Looked instead of making fun of him like most people usually do. I hope she doesn't flip and get mad at me for saying it like that. Oh no, I shouldn't.
My mom's smile and voice changed very slightly to become slightly sadder at that mention by you about how my son just wanted a friend who wouldn't bully him for the way he looks, and her expression and voice both soften even further as she speaks. I see. So he opened up to you about why he left, and talked about how he just wanted a friend who would appreciate him. He was worried about being made fun of for his looks.
I just want him to know that there are people that love him for the way he looks instead of always making fun of him. Period. That's why I did it. Try to earn. Wait. There. I just want. For one, this needs to go wanted. And the looks, not. There we go.
My mom's expression softens a little bit more at the comment about how you wanted my son to know that there are people out there that love him just as he is, and her voice remains soft as she responds. I can understand that. My son does often worry about the fact that he isn't fully evolved yet, and how people make fun of him for it. I'm glad that you've helped him feel a bit better about it.
I'm just glad that your son is happy and safe at home. Exclamation point. By the way, can I ask you something real quick? I want to ask her about that polyrath so I know if there's a full polyrath here. I need to know so I know what I'm doing here. Like, one of the biggest issues I'm running into is like.
My mom slowly nods at your comment about how you are happy that my son is now home and safe, and her soft expression and voice remain the same as she responds. Sure, ask me anything.
Okay, so she's fine now. Okay. Does a type it live here? Question mark. Your son mentioned how he was getting picked on by him, and if I can, let me ask her that first. Because if she says no, then there's no point in actually. Please don't still be here, dude. That's gonna suck. I want Croconaw to be happy. I'm not leaving till I know he's happy.
My mom's expression and voice both turn a bit cold and stern again as you ask about a polygraph.
Oh, no.
But she still responds to your question, her voice remaining firm and cold as she answers, "Yes, a polyrath does reside around here. I've heard about how he has been picking on my son, and other young mons."
Of course he is. Do you know why he is being such a bully? Bully to the other Pokemon? And especially your son? Question mark? Because the thing is, how am I going to talk to that pirate? He's not going to listen to me. I think Croconaw was right the other day when he said that. He's not going to listen to me.
My mom's expression and voice harden even more as the conversation turns to why Polyrath is picking on the young mons, and she speaks coldly and firmly as she answers, "Well, I'm not sure exactly why he's being such a bully, but I do know that he's targeting my son in particular due to the fact that he isn't yet fully evolved."
I will... Oh, Polyrath. Oh my gosh, I'm going to mother frickin' hurt you. I swear to frickin' heck. It may not be easy, but do you think I could go talk to him? Question mark. I just want to make sure your son feels safe and happy being at home. I don't know if that's actually going. And even if it is, what am I gonna do, dude? Oh no, this might be a bad decision. Oh no. Oh. Oh, she said, hold on, see what she says real quick.
My mom's stern expression and cold voice harden further at that statement about how you want to talk to Polyrath.
No.
And she becomes a bit more serious as she speaks. Talking to Polyrath may be a dangerous endeavor. And while I understand you want my son to be both safe and happy, I don't exactly feel comfortable letting you talk to that bully.
Yep, it's kind of what I'm feeling. Huh. Let me do one more thing before I flip and let me end off this video, guys, and I'll be right back. I have to figure out how to say it.